Fortune Tacoma owners, if you've been looking to style your rig with some decals, you've come to the right place. We are now launching our Fortune Tacoma decal lineup of stripes, rocker panels, smaller decals, PPF. They're not gonna be up on the website. I'm gonna put a code at the end of this video that will actually get you 25% off any of these products for the first 2 weeks. After that, discount goes away, we're playing full price. Let me show you guys these decals and why we designed them the way we did, with very simplistic lines, but also adds a ton of character to your ride. So here are a few of our decals that we're releasing. There's gonna be a total of 6 different stripe kits that you can get, whether that be ones that drop down from the top, roll out the front, or rocker panel decals. These are extremely easy to install, come with transfer tape and all the other goodies to kind of make this install as easy as possible for the average consumer. Today what we're gonna do is we're gonna uninstall a few of these that still need some additional testing, get in our last 2 finalization ones so you guys can see how we install them. And then I'll link all of the decals that we're releasing for the Fortune in this video down below with our discount code, probably the last 30 seconds to a minute of this video. So stay tuned. I'm gonna rip these ones off and we're gonna get another set installed. This one's probably one of my favorites. Okay, one of the first steps that you're gonna do when you get your decals, whether you get stripes, just anything that you get that's gonna have transfer tape with it. Transfer tape is when we print a decal, laminate it, and cut it out. We're taking out all the filler pieces, and then once we take out the filler pieces, we add this stuff called transfer tape. And what happens is it puts the decals onto this tape so that none of the positions of the stickers or the decals move. So the way that you see it is directly how it will be applied. Doesn't move, works great. When you get your decal, you're gonna wanna trim it out just like this. The reason being, you do this because it allows you to see your tolerances and make sure that all your spacing around the entire decal, specifically in these 2 areas, side to side, and then also top to bottom on this side. So we're gonna take these 2 pieces over. We're gonna grab some just regular masking tape, something cheap. Sometimes this stuff's so cheap, but when you install lots of decals, tape be adding up. Step 1, always will be clean the surface. I recommend, depending on the age of the vehicle, you're gonna wanna do like a glass cleaner, alcohol, and make sure that all like your rubber pieces are dried out, because if not, you could be installing a decal and a drop of water could come down. Not that it ruins it, just makes it harder for the decal to adhere to the vehicle itself. What you want to do though is you want to get all the contaminants off the vehicle, make sure that there's nothing that is wax, grime, whatever. So make sure it's just really cleaned up really well. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with this guy. I like to pull a few pieces off before I get started, just to help me position the decal where I want it. So what I like to do is I like to come back here first. I like to make sure that the gap that is showing between these 2 areas in white is good. And I'm gonna look right here. There's a ledge, there's 2 ledges. There's one right here and then one up a little higher. You're wanting this decal to sit up on that upper ledge. So what I'm gonna do is bring it up till that thing sits on the upper ledge, which is literally perfect right there. Then I'm gonna see where this is at. Should end up, the top of the decal should end up right in the middle of the valley. Just like that. Boom. Okay, and then what I will do right here, as I was putting right here, because I need this section to stay pretty smooth. And what we did is when you add pressure right here, see how it like brings up the decal just a little bit? So we will add a little bit of pressure here, bring this up to where it needs to be. Boom. Okay, and then we're gonna go get another piece. Great. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take a piece of tape, and where this lines up, where it looks good on this side, you're gonna add a piece of tape, lay it flat. There you go, that looks good through and through. Then you're gonna go to this piece of tape, you're gonna cut it, just the tape, and this is gonna help us realign it when we bring it back over. Pop it out. You're gonna remove the backing, like this. And what's really nice is this paper, get it to a point like right there. Ah, well, I was supposed to show you something cool, but didn't work on that one. What you're gonna wanna do though is turn it, rip it out. Then this goes back this way, and you're gonna see that you can line it up with the tape again, so it stays in the same position. And then you're gonna be able to press it down right in the middle, just like that. Okay, now these two pieces of tape we can get rid of, we won't need these two. The piece of tape we will need to hold on to are these two. Ah! It's freaking snowing, it's wet. Okay, then you need to go right here. Go up here. Score both of those. Those pop off. Then what we're gonna do is remove the rest of the backing paper. Just like that. We're gonna line up this one first. Okay, once we line up that one, we'll add a little bit of pressure to set the decal. And this one goes up here. Line that one up. And you can see like the decal's coming up just a little bit. That's perfectly fine. What we're gonna wanna do then is, you can see that it kind of feeds down and there's a lower section right here. So what we're gonna wanna do is press up, and it's gonna feed the pinch part, kind of distribute the excess material, kind of up the rest of the body panel, like that. And then you can run your finger just along the edge, seals it all in. Then you're gonna bring your finger down here, follow that body line, and then kind of you're gonna see it kind of get pressed into this like concaved area. And then again, you can distribute any what feels like excess material down the decal. Okay, now we're gonna get back up here to the front. What I like to do is, before I even peel anything back, what I'll do is, you can cut it like this, but you want the decal to have a little bit to go over the edge. So I'll typically cut it on this side. On this door panel. That way, when I remove this, it gives me just a little bit to fold over the edges. So before I move on to the next area, I'll grab this, fold it over, and fold it over. Then we're gonna start. You don't want to pull the paper off like this, but down. That way you know you're not gonna pull off anything. This, if you pull it this way, it might remove the decal. So you want to keep that low. Oh, oops. Gee, this tip really is kind of cheap. Great. Our back section is installed, and you can see the gapping here, how it's very, very, very uniform. Same with right here. Might narrow in just a little bit and then flows down. If you get down, you want the gap here and up here to be the same when you're parallel with the decal, because that's where most people drive. Okay, now we're gonna transition onto the front panel. This is the second part of the decal. What you're going to do is you're going to line up these back two sections because they do overlap. You can see that the topography lines up. And then what you're going to do is essentially make sure that this part is lined up with what you have already previously installed. Then once you get to this part where everything looks lined up and ready to go, you're just going to tape on the top side. You flop it up. Take that off. Bring this down. You're going to re-line it up. Like that. And then what I do is actually leave this back part connected because of this like weather trim piece. Then we're going to take our decal. So easy. Okay, once we get to this section, press your decal down all the way. I kind of press mine into the crack. And then I just run my knife down like that. First piece off. And this one is a little trickier. What I'll do is I'll typically cut right by the, be careful not to cut your paint. Squeegee that in, push that back. Whoa. Sweet. Done. Now we're going to remove the extra tape. Boom, there you go. This is how all of the decals that flow from this section out to the front are installed. The only other difference is when we do have a variation where it comes down, goes flat, and then it drops down into the fender. And that front one that drops into the fender will be installed the same way that this one does. What's really nice is that we're gonna do all final install videos for each of the decals in the future. This is just a preview video where you can cash in on some sweet savings, grab them before we actually have install videos, especially if you're comfortable installing some vinyl. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean this bottom section. This is the last decal we're gonna install in this video. And this decal is more for like rocker panel protection, especially if you off-road. The space where we have the stripe up on the front part protects a huge amount of the panel from getting rock chips and whatnot. Try to keep things clean. Doesn't always happen. Ideally, you want to wash your whole vehicle. Sometimes you just don't have time. Okay, you're always going to want to install the larger part of the decal first. So for our rocker panels, it's going to be the front panel. For our swooshes, it's always going to be the back. So there's a body line, kind of a cavity or like a valley, and then another body line, and that's where you're going to line up the black part of the decal on that body line. Follow that body line. It's this.
Oh, I'm so sick of running over here. Sorry. Brandon, I need like a head mic. Oh, Brandon, earpieces. Do you know how good that would be if we could talk to each other all day?
That sounds like a nightmare.
What?
Huh?
Okay, so on our rocker panel decal, once you get the top lined up and then scoot it forward or backwards to make sure it follows that body line. Literally there's a body line that goes here and then it breaks out and then it breaks out again. You're just gonna follow the main portion right here and then the decal will follow, it just goes down. And it will bleed out the bottom. So what I would recommend doing is, this is one that you press it all the way down and then you cut it on the bottom. So, now that we've got it all cleaned up. Here we go. Get this all pulled out. Okay, and now, we got it pulled out. I'm gonna set the top. This is going to be the harder section because this does almost require the vinyl to kind of stretch and move. But the tape will prevent it from moving. You can get it in there though. Then once you get in there, run your squeegee along there, and then we're going to end up cutting right along that bottom line. Boom. Then what we do is we'll go over here, grab this transfer tape. And that's pretty normal for this part of the decal to kind of get peeled up because it doesn't have proper pressure. Beautiful. Okay. This is all air release vinyl clay, so see that air right there? What you can do is you can add pressure with your finger. Lightly press it, it'll come out. Looks like something there, a little bit of heat. I'll help remove any imperfections of that. Then you're gonna press your edge down. Then you're gonna open the door and press the edge down again. Okay. Okay, guys, we're moving on to the back section here. I always line it up on that body line like I was showing you guys, but you really have to get down here and make sure that you are actually on the body line properly. Because if not, it'll look goofy. Okay, I think I got to land up right. Come back here. Make sure that's folded back. Then what we're going to do is go through and post heat all of them. Need to be post heat, and it's because you have a few layers. You have your vinyl going from basically this surface all the way down to the vehicle. It's going to go lamination, then there's the print, then there's the actual vinyl that was printed on, and then there's the adhesive that sticks to the vehicle. And after the adhesive, there's these little silicone balls that sit on top of the adhesive, which allows you to kind of move the decal around before it actually will stick to the vehicle. So when we slap these vehicles on, or these decals on, they don't actually stick all the way until you add pressure and heat. And once you add pressure and heat, the silicone balls that are sitting on top of the adhesive submerge into the adhesive, and the decal will fully adhere to your vehicle. But they need to be heated to 185 degrees. Otherwise, those silicone balls won't fully press into the adhesive. The vinyl can come off. It won't last as long. So anyway, after you're done applying the whole decal, you're going to want to add pressure to all of it, heat it to about 185 degrees, and you'll see like little bubbles pop up if they weren't pressed down, and that's your chance to like press them down, get them heated properly. So I'm going to go through with our heat gun or a torch. I don't recommend a torch if you haven't used one before, but definitely a heat gun. And let's get our decals heated, and then we're going to do a walkthrough of all the decals that we offer for the 24 Tacoma. Okay guys, that wraps up our full install video of our lower rocker panel decals and then our window stripes. Now I'm going to start from the back of the vehicle and just go through a bunch of the decals that we do offer for the 24 Tacoma. First one is our lower bedside decals. This comes in a few different variations, one with mountains and then one with just like a basic stripe. So there's 3 variations of this that you can check out on the website. Going forward, this is where our decals start with these window stripes. I want to say all of them are going to have window decal on them in some way, but then there's like swoosh, checkered, faded, pointed. I think there's going to be 4 or 5 variations of this exact decal that all kind of have this similar form to begin with and then end in different ways. Then we're going to have our lower rocker panel stripes. Both we're going to have a full set and just the stripe itself. Then moving to the front of the vehicle, we have our fender vent decals, lower headlight decals, 3 different variations, just classic, gradient, and then that unique cubed one. And then we're back into this section. As for PPF, we're going to be we have roof rack PPF, because a lot of these roof racks touch the paint and will chew through the paint. So we want to do, if you do not have a gap like this, we offer PPF that can go right there that protects your rack from ruining the paint. We're going to be doing window decals like this. Hood stamps, we have our center section, we have our outer fangs, and then also for the sport guys, we have the hood scoop area all done now as well. And then in the back, we have a Pro Grill style decal that goes on the upper part of the tailgate, the letters, and I think that might be it for right now, but there's more coming. So, we are literally the best shop if you want a customized decal for your 4th Gen Tacoma. Check out our listings. There are lots of color variations, patterns, topo, camo that you can choose from. So if you have any questions or you see something that that we don't have but want made, shoot us a DM, an email. We'd be more than happy to make a custom decal, especially since we have all these forms and stencils already made. So anyway, thanks for watching guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. We appreciate it. See you on the next episode.